What's going on, everybody? It's Sean from the fightforfreedom.info. This is the Fight for Freedom radio show. I'm here tonight with Ed. What's up, man?
What's going on? Loving the tunes.
Chilling. And my buddy Brian. What's up, Bri?
Nothing much.
Nothing much. How about that debate? How about that GOP debate?
I learned so much.
The bullshit debate.
Right.
The hard questions and the real answers.
Yeah. I'm sure everybody's going to be like, oh, I know who I'm voting for. Trump. Trump's going to win. Trump's our next president. Yeah, I know. And it's fucking, with no, like, real questions being asked. It's become a celebrity, the new Celebrity Apprentice, right?
Well, it's a popularity contest, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's whoever's cool.
That's and those questions were real.
They were nail biters.
Yeah,
real nail biters.
Obama won because he was cool.
Yeah. Well, he won because he was black. Should I say that?
You're racist.
Well, not in a racist way, but kind of true.
Yeah, kind of true. I mean, a lot of people were like,
yeah, well, I mean, the youth came out and voted for him. I mean, it's just, a lot of people wanted to vote for they felt it was going to be the first black president.
A lot of people went and interviewed black people, and they said, why'd you vote for him? And they said, because he's black.
Yeah.
And they had no idea about any issues.
Because there was a candidate, Cynthia McKinney at the time, who was running in the Green Party, and that was your first black female. Well, and I tried to make that a case. I'm like, well, why don't you really be historical and why don't you have your first black female?
The elitists wouldn't allow that.
Well, now we got our first white one, Hillary.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys think? I mean, because there's a lot of heat on Hillary. You guys think that she actually has a shot? I mean, now we all three of us know that it's bullshit. These guys are obviously picked, well beforehand by these, the people who pretty much pay.
Yeah, I mean, they know that. Listen, all the contributors of the special interests of the top lobbying, they double down their bets on all the candidates. That's why the two-party system is a joke. So you're absolutely right. Whoever is
I don't really trust the electronic voting.
Yeah, I mean,
whoever the media puts, whatever face they put up there, people are just going to keep seeing that and probably vote for that.
I mean, we used to have open ballot count where one for this guy, one for this guy, one for this guy, two for this guy, and now it's all done electronically. And there's people who were actually, they made those machines, and then they were also some of the guys that were like, yo, this is how easy it is to hack these machines and make it look as if this candidate's winning or that candidate's winning. There was something in Florida with George Bush Jr., not senior, junior, where there was some kind of issue down in Florida.
And Al Gore.
Yeah.
That was the last state, and they had to recount it. And, I guess Gore won first, and then Bush, and I don't know.
Right. I mean, we really need, if we're going to have a fair democracy, which to me there's no such thing, because when you have a democracy, why would I want a government where if I'm outnumbered, I'm fucked? But that's besides the point.
And it's done
even
force.
in 2012 for the Republican nominee in Iowa, Santorum and Romney tied. But they had to, recount it a bunch of times. And, how the fuck do you tie?
Yeah.
It was fucking bullshit. And that was probably because Ron Paul may have won.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
And they're like, oh, well.
And whoever wins Iowa wins the nominee, so.
Crazy Uncle Paul can't win. Let's redo this. Oh, man. But,
they get nervous when he was at the debate.
Right, they did. They really did. They tried shutting him up multiple times.
Yeah.
He wasn't invited to some of the... Ron Paul wasn't, invited to some of those debates. But my question is, do you guys think that whoever runs the real show, that they're going to use Hillary? Because it's pretty much just her, right? Right now in the Democratic standpoint.
And Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders got a shot.
See, I think that
he's popular with the young people.
Right.
Yeah, right. If the Obama does come out, he does have a shot.
Right. But do you think, because if I was an elitist, I would pull Hillary out. She's got too much shit on her. You know what I mean?
I don't think it matters, because once she's in office, it doesn't really fucking matter.
I mean, in my opinion,
I guess you're willing to do whatever they want you to do.
Yeah, in my opinion, you have they're both brainwashed people thinking governments could work for you.
Right.
And with the liberal Democrat youth, they kind of onto, the youth in general is kind of onto the bullshit They usually are.
Right.
And so your youth liberal Democrats that came out to vote for Obama, they're not going to want another Clinton.
Yeah. So do you think?
So I think they, I think Bernie got a shot because of that.
Do you guys think that because more of America are starting to catch wind of this fucking stinky pile of shit that we call this government, that Donald Trump might be like, oh, well, this is, we brought Obama in because he's black. Hillary's got too much shit. We're going to bring in Donald Trump. And now people, they may get more excited now, and that may be why Donald's like in the lead. Cause like,
I think it's just a way to pull people back in.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So instead of people being like, fuck this is bullshit. We all know this is bullshit. We're just going to, give up on this system, and the numbers would show, because it'd be like, shit, only 50 million out of 320 million people voted.
Yeah, I mean, he's a celebrity. He's funny.
Right, you think
people want to watch him?
Your youth Republican conservatives are tired of government and the bullshit and don't want the typical, what they think
God,
the
guns and
candidate
pro
is.
kids.
Yeah, and Trump sounds angry and serious enough where that's what you gotta be. It's just a matter of the true God. Listen, he doesn't really. He's not, this God-loving person like the other candidates are, which would probably hurt him for Republican votes.
Well, maybe the youth.
Most of the youth isn't anymore. So.
Yeah, a lot of the youth.
Well, that's good. I mean, you could say the older people. You're old, like 50 years and above who are Republicans. They're gonna vote. They're not gonna really vote for him. They're gonna vote for, whoever loves God the most. But they're definitely not going to vote for him. Yeah. So it's going to be a matter of youth for Donald Trump as well. And it could be that.
It's to me, it's another It's just a white Obama. It's like, oh, I'm going to change everything. This is ridiculous. The government's not doing anything.
The Republican Party.
Right. It's like the white Obama.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
because they can never get a black person to be their Obama in that party.
If they did, they might just get every single person to vote.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So let's talk about who was in the debate last night. We had Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, Mike, as Ed likes to call, Huckabee. Huckabee. Trump, Cruz, Christie, Kasich, and Carson. So out of these guys, I was looking through the transcript. I didn't really see any questions that were hard-hitting, that were, like, serious. The first question came out with, like, Donald Trump calling, I guess it was Rosie O'Donnell, a fat pig. Like, what's this got to do with...
With the horrible issues in the
Right, with, like, millions of people starving worldwide. How do we handle our foreign affairs? Are we going to be pulling troops back? Would you pull troops back? What are you going to do about ISIS? What are you going to do about this? Their first question is about a fat pig?
I know.
What is this guy?
I guess
they're trying to hurt his credibility, I guess, or something.
Yeah. Right, maybe try to die him down
Personally.
because he's got so much... He's, like, way ahead. Well, I think Jeb Bush was at, like, 12, while Donald Trump was at, like, 21 or 26%.
Yeah, Jeb Bush is dropping, I
Well,
guess.
not only that, I mean, it's also it's Fox News doing the debate, right?
Well, I mean, it's a Republican...
So, it's a Republican... do you really think the Republican Party wants Donald Trump to even win?
No.
Yeah, I mean, so,
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, but if people...
So they're going to really they're going to make him look like the reality moron that he is, He's a goofball.
Yeah, and they'll make him out to look just like that. I find it despairing that there are certain people, like, I won't mention his name, but today... I ran into somebody who I care about deeply. He's like, "Hey, Sean, how you doing, man?" I said, "I'm doing well. How are you?" He says, "I'm doing good. Did you watch that debate?" And I was like, "No, I listened to it on the radio." "Oh man, what a debate!" I'm thinking in my head, "Are you stupid?"
What's fun? Like every question they asked, like these people's answers were like, "I'm a strong candidate," blah blah blah. They didn't even like really answer the questions, and then like they'd then people would clap for that, and it was pretty fucking sad.
Yeah. It's like it's about popularity. If you say something that has to do with pro-life, because it's a Republican debate, so if you say something like pro-life, I'm strong, you should have seen my record,
Oh, yeah.
Things like this.
We got to get America back to its roots and blah blah blah.
These same talking points that we've heard every 4 years. It's
no, but what's funny is like they're saying we have to do this, and they're pretty much saying we have to increase government to do these things.
Yeah,
these Republicans that are supposed to be
for small
government. So it's
and
a contradiction.
And who try to attach themselves to the Libertarian Party. I mean,
that's what's scary. That
is
is what's scary. Is you got guys like Rand Paul, that chick libertarian girl on Facebook. She's all over him. Is she still all over him? Have you seen?
Yeah, that's my big issue.
Okay, so she works for him, and it's like, you're not a libertarian, man.
And most libertarians aren't voting for you anymore. So
no.
Listen, we try not to be, that's my big attack right now, like on the whole Republican Party. I know they're both bullshit. I wouldn't vote. They both work for special interests, but that's my biggest gripe right now with the Republican Party is the hijacking of the libertarian principles, or acting like they are.
Yeah, exactly. It's all a facade.
Yeah,
it's not.
Just because you happen to give certain libertarians interviews and all this, that probably also helps the stupid attachment on it.
Another thing is like all these people, like they're all saying pretty much the same things. Unlike like 4 years ago when you have Ron Paul saying no government, like totally opposite, and that's why he was liked. All these people they're the same people up there, so it's boring and you're hearing the same fucking poem over and over again.
When I heard this guy that I saw today, say, wasn't it awesome? That was a really good debate. I'm thinking, first off, nobody debated. There's so many people up there that one question was pretty much asked to each candidate, and someone else, if they wanted to, they had about 30 seconds to like rebut. I mean, this was not a debate at all.
No, it never really is, too. Like this first one is about being personal. So like later on in the debates, they'll get into some deep, issues, deep topics, foreign affairs and all this. And they don't even do that later on in debates. It is a joke. It all becomes talking points.
So, reading the transcript, I got a couple questions from a few of the candidates. I don't have questions from all of them. But who here out of us three thinks that Jeb Bush, because the question was pretty much, I don't know if Megan, whatever the hell her name is, asked it, or if it was Brett Baer or whoever, but they said, a lot of people think that Jeb, you are going to run the same form of legacy as like your father and your brother, continuing more, doing the exact same thing. Now, of course, the three of us know
it's what whoever wins is going to do.
Is going to do it, right? So Jeb Bush is basically saying, "Well, I'm my own man." No shit, Sherlock. You're your own person. I get that, but are your thoughts any different? And it doesn't really matter, because if the elitists are going to pay you and these giant corporations and special interests are going to pay you, you're going to do exactly what they tell you to say.
He didn't even answer the question.
No, he did.
No, again, another one not answering the question. That'll be a trend in all the debates.
Like every question was a runaround.
Yeah, just beat around the bush.
Right, which of course politicians are good. But how can people... The first person that I saw today was like, man, what a great debate. I'm like, what? What do you mean great debate? No questions were really answered. You're going to applause like a fucking seal at SeaWorld. Like, like... Just because everybody else is applauding, because they probably put that little sign that says applause up top. You know what I mean? It's like, everybody's got to applaud because he said the word God or pro-life. Oh, okay, God, I got it. Let me clap.
We need more government to stop these things.
And it's funny because like the newspapers, like when you watch the news after debates or the newspaper after, they always like, well, this candidate came out real strong, how he answered those questions. Oh my God.
It's funny when they start speaking slowly and then they start speaking real fast and loud and everyone starts clapping. And it's like, what the fuck?
That is like the applause cue. Like, okay, everybody, today we're going to go pro-life.
Yeah. There are lines, like, if you throw a Hillary zing in there, you definitely get a great applaud.
Yeah. Or Obamacare.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, destroy it. And I'm not for Obamacare, but that is an applause cue. These are all,
Yeah, I'm going to repeal Obamacare.
And everyone goes
Republican
ape shit.
The Republican health plan.
Right, yes. This was formed by the Republican Party. And, I'm going to repeal it. Okay, so you're obviously going to. That doesn't mean you're going to remove it and go back to our old ways of doing healthcare. You're just going to repeal it and then add something else into the mix. Great, more government, more intrusion, less privacy. Someday it actually might be better for us to go up to Canada to get our surgeries done.
Yeah, the one news article I read, this is funny because this is when the news is like, this is when the candidate gets, they said this is when Mark Rubio had the best applause of the night, is when he said, God has blessed the Republican Party with some very good candidates. The Democrats can't even find one. It's like, that's the debate. That's the biggest applause. That's what makes a great debate, according to
absolutely
news source.
Dumbfounding. I don't even know what to say to that. So you guys are all clapping. You fucking idiot.
Because God found good,
right,
good fucking politicians.
Right. Because God chose the Republicans over the Democrats to get more of these clowns on stage. Great. I'm glad. Yeah. Jesus. But these are the diehard fans of the Republicans that go to these debates. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that the majority of America is like, okay, this debate was not good. However, I find the exact opposite when the first person I actually saw today was like, man, that was a really good debate.
Well, was he Republican?
Conservative, yeah.
All right, so there you go.
Yeah, I wish I would have researched it, but I am curious how many people tuned in and watched it.
And
I bet you.
No, it was the largest watched debate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean a lot of people still watch
Well,
it.
Yeah, but it was the largest watched debate.
That's probably because of Donald Trump.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, most likely.
Celebrity Apprentice ratings went over there.
Policies don't matter anymore. It's about,
Yeah, it's a popularity contest.
If Kim Kardashian were to run for president,
oh, it'd be the biggest fucking hit ever.
Yeah.
It would be.
Everybody's ratings would go through the
She'd probably win.
Yeah, she might.
Had 14-year-olds getting like fake voting rights,
getting IDs like, I'm 21,
fake ID.
I'm 18. So Trump with the fat pig thing has nothing to do with anything. Yeah. Bush being his own man again has nothing. Like you said, Ed, this was really a personal debate. So then we got. I took a question from Walker. One of the people who asked questions spoke to Walker about his abortion, saying that he's against abortion, including incest and rape. That's
because he had signed a bill a while back, or voted for a bill that said you could still get an abortion if you were raped or whatever, and the whole Republican platform.
Wait, that said that you.
If you were raped, you have a right to get an abortion because it was an anti-abortion bill.
From what he said.
No, I know. That's why.
No, he's talking about in his history.
No, his history.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's saying that now. He's like, I'm not for, I'm against abortion, period, now.
No, okay. So I know, Ed, that you don't.
He's flip-flopping.
So, Ed, he is flip-flopping.
Yeah.
So, but that's
why they asked him that question. That was his personal question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So let's bring this to the libertarian, voluntarist, anarchist standpoint. I know abortion's a tough subject to discuss because there could be a life in you. And my position on this is if there's no life there yet, and science has yet to really prove, like, when does life start? A lot of Bible thumpers will say, well, it starts at conception. The moment that sperm hits the egg, there's life in there. I would like to see the science behind that before I were to say, well, there's got to be heart, there's got to be blood, there's got to be this and that. Now, I do believe that as a libertarian, and you don't consider yourself a libertarian, you consider yourself a voluntarist. If anything, a voluntarist.
I agree to the principles.
Right.
Yeah.
So, asking you, as far as abortion goes, if somebody, like, obviously you don't want to kill babies, right?
I don't have a particular stand on abortion other than this is what I try to tell people, even like a religious person, because I could understand why people are against it.
Well, my question was, if it's incest or rape, shouldn't you be allowed, like, that was against your will completely?
Yeah.
I think that you should be able to be like, I'm not having this baby, I'm not prepared, I'm not ready, I was raped when I was 14 and now I have a kid.
Listen, that's all on the individual. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Regardless.
And you're an individual, and I'd like to know what you think.
and that's what I mean. It's all on the individual. Listen, when you can't sit there and say, by making laws or stop it, you can't stop abortions from happening in the world.
Right? No.
That's like stopping. You just can't.
You can sit in the bathroom
to
and
really sit there and think
it.
that you could create a law. Which is a law is a solution to end abortions is ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's just crazy, and that's my whole stand on it. And goes, that's why I'm not. Government shouldn't interfere. There should be no government. No,
period. There shouldn't be a government.
But nobody should be interfering in some that's going to happen. So why not? There's going to be a market for it. At least have it
as
clean,
safe as possible.
It's out there, because you're not putting an end to it. But at least maybe have it done safely. Right. Be smart about it. Don't let the.
Because a lot of, we know the Republicans. Brian, do you have anything to say on abortion?
I mean, it's kind of hard.
What do you think about the incest and rape thing? Do you?
I don't think the government should be involved in it whatsoever. I mean, the whole life thing. I don't know. All right,
so
it starts.
You create a law, no more abortion. That's it in this country.
Like
no
saying
doctors,
no more murder.
No more.
Don't smoke pot.
All right, so okay, now it's an abortion-free utopia. People think no, you're out of your mind.
It's the same thing.
You're still gonna have kids. There's gonna be rapes. Someone's gonna want to have it. 14-year-old or 15-year-old girl has sex with her boyfriend for the first time. We talk about it. A white girl might have a child with a black kid. Don't want to bring home mom and dad. Black kid don't want to raise it. No, it could be an issue, whatever. But I'm just saying, that child will go out and look for an abortion, to have an abortion somehow, some way.
Well, this is the same thing.
To think you're going to solve the abortion issue by laws and this is ridiculous.
This is the same thing with the gun-free school zones. If there's a sign out there that says this school zone is gun-free, no one will bring a gun onto that property.
Yeah. Or that's it. Marijuana is totally illegal. Anybody get caught, it's life sentence from all the way around. Yeah, okay, that's it. This country is weed free now. You're not going to have people smoking. That's ridiculous.
All right, so that was his personal question. Thanks. Huckabee with same-sex marriage.
Brian, you agree?
Yeah.
Huckabee with same-sex marriage. I have a conflicting problem with this. I understand this is a Republican debate, so they're going to bring this up, and they're all going to be like, oh, hell no. But my question is, why is government even involved in marriage? Because the original reason why government got involved in marriage is because so black people and white people can legally be together. That is why you get a marriage license. Over time, then it was phased into everything else. But
I wonder why they did that.
That was a while ago. They can do that now. Black and whites can have children. They can enjoy each other's company. Everything's good.
Recently.
Everything's good in the world. But why is government even involved? And I think that
religion.
Yeah, you know what, bro? I was thinking that, dude. Yeah, because that's the Republican base, right? Do they not have the Christian evangelicals in this country for the most part?
No, they do.
Yeah.
They do. Please don't do that.
That's why whoever loves God the most, is shined upon.
You know what's funny? It's they want to impose their beliefs on other people with a gun to their head.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's what? Why don't you allow people to live their own lives?
How Christian of you.
Yeah.
Love thy neighbor and do this and do that.
Were you telling me Jesus is an anarchist?
Yeah, Jesus is an anarchist.
And a lot of people, I heard people trying to say he was a socialist, and I was like, I don't fucking think so.
No way. First of all, Jesus was against the monetary system. He was against money. He was against symbols, anything that
I'm going to hell.
idolize, for symbols. That means flags, the cross. He's against worship and anything. He was also against having a place of worship.
Yeah.
You couldn't. He wasn't He says, as far as worshiping God, you can worship God anywhere. To have a place to worship is ridiculous.
And it's funny, Jesus preaches peace, and you have all these Republicans that are Jesus freaks, but they want more war. They want to kill more people.
Yeah.
And it's fucking...
That's You know, and that's what makes Ron Paul look crazy, because when he brought up with foreign affairs, he's like, I'd pull them all out. You know, we probably create a lot more of this hate and anger.
Right, we got a lot of blowback.
The stuff we do. We got
you
crazy, because they're the ones. They want war. We've said that. A lot of those candidates up on that stage,
they're war
want to
hawks.
go after Iran.
They're war hawks, is what they are, and I mean that's. But people, and a lot of Republicans, are all about that.
Oh yeah,
they're all about it. And I'm like, yo, God, calm down, man, because at some point, someone's gonna fuck shit up over here.
That's where you become
not
crazy.
Me.
Like,
I'm just saying, not me. I don't want to do that. But I'm saying,
for guns. I am for guns, but guys, you're for guns too, and I appreciate that. But you want to go out and use it on people.
Yeah. I just want to defend myself.
Have it for defend, to shoot around, to hunt.
You hunt?
Oh, right. Brian got an issue with our trophy hunting.
Yeah, and after we discuss this whole debate thing, we're going to talk about trophy hunting. I need to retract some statements, but that'll be later on, from now. Brian needs what?
Huh?
Who said pussy?
Brian?
Where, Sean?
Brian? But as far as same-sex marriage, my libertarian or my anarchist in me comes out and is like, why are we even discussing marriage? Like, why is government even involved?
In my life. Yeah, I don't.
I get like a lot of gay people, they want to be married, but basically what the gay people are asking for is privilege to be together in the eyes of the state. And it's like, dude,
it's a shame that they don't get it. It's a shame that you guys have to ask that. Like, I get it. You should be able to live your lives however you want, and I'm for that. I support that. In a sense. Morally, I support that.
I don't understand
your own life, but to ask for permission, that's a shame.
Yeah, but if marriage is a religious thing, why do you have to get a marriage license through the government to do something that's religious? I don't understand.
I was reading because the Supreme Court is the one that passed it, and what it was a ton of petitions from individual states on certain cases, and a lot of it is that they're asking they want to be recognized to be married in states' eyes. It has nothing to do with religion, church, or nothing. It's for states' eyes so they could get the same tax breaks as the states allow other marriages to have,
so if there weren't
and
taxes,
to be by right.
Yeah, if there were no taxes,
yeah, like the one petition I was reading, for example, these two gay couple had a life that they built together for 30 years, and the one person was extremely sick, and the government, because they're not recognized legally marriage, wasn't allowing them to be at the bedside like that to help, to do any of that. Had a hard time that they built this life together. He was entitled to some of the stuff afterwards, and you got to fight legally like that. And that's what it came down to for the rights. That's why I sit there and say it's a shame in this whole scheme of things that you even have to ask for permission for any of this stuff.
Right. The problem is the system. Because the system's all intertwined. So if you're not married in the eyes of the state, then you don't
get masters. You got to ask the master's permission.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you're not married in the eyes of the state, therefore you don't get these tax breaks and this and that. And this is a huge problem. Like, two people who are in love with each other. I don't care if you're, black and white, gay and another gay, lesbian and lesbian. I guess the same thing. I don't know. Whatever the case is, white and white, whatever. When you have to go in front of the state to get married so you can get these benefits, where are these benefits coming from? So if I'm not married to somebody, I don't get a certain benefit from a government.
You have to pay more.
Yeah, exactly. And this is wrong. Like, morally, this is wrong.
How much money does the government make off a divorce?
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Tons of money.
And that's another business they shouldn't even be in.
Right.
They're telling people where they could put their money and everything.
Shit like wills and stuff like that, government shouldn't be involved in that. Like federally, government should not be
what's funny when
in
people make the argument on, you need a third party like a government to be, to deal with situations like that. I'm like, okay, so you have it, right? You have government now. Are they doing a good job? Like,
right,
how has that been? you know,
horrible.
Like, you sit there and say you need it. Well, you have it, and it's fucked up. And I can tell you in so many ways why, and you're still okay with it. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah. Let's move on to another question. Oh shit, I gotta find it.
The Rand Paul one?
Yeah, the Rand Paul with ISIS. So
our libertarian hijacker.
Yeah.
There's
so many people. It's like the Glenn Beck.
Yeah, it's annoying. It really is.
I don't know what his deal with, like, if he's trying to be more mainstream, but I think that's hurting him if he is really, truly a libertarian.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you say hurting him. It depends on how much money he got.
No, I mean hurting him with votes. I'm talking about.
Yeah, because
if he was like his father, he'd be pretty fucking popular.
He probably wouldn't last long in these debates, though. They would just shut him down. They'd be like, "Oh, mute button. Oh, that crazy
dude." Once
just like your dad.
Yeah, but Ron Paul was like fighting to get into the conversations, and the crowd was fucking screaming for him.
Yeah.
So I mean, Rand just fucking dug himself a hole. He's fucking done.
Yeah, I don't know. But what was he saying about ISIS?
So pretty much a couple months ago, he said that the government created ISIS. He pretty much said that, and he was asked that question and asked if he would retract that statement.
I found it, by the way, if you want me to read it.
And yeah, you can read it.
All right, so they said, all right, Senator Paul, you recently, and this is coming from time.com. They have the whole transcript. So Bayer says to Senator Paul, you recently blamed the rise of ISIS on Republican hawks. You later said in that statement you could have said it better, but the statement went on and you said, quote, everything they've talked about in foreign policy, they've been wrong for the last 20 years. Now, Brian, you were saying that
he pretty much contradicted himself. He flopped, and he said that ISIS created themselves.
Yep.
Then he said that ISIS has $1 billion worth of weapons and vehicles, U.S. weapons and vehicles, and that we arm their allies with weapons and vehicles.
Which is true.
Yeah, which is true. But
But he flopped when he said we didn't create.
When the U.S. government propped him up.
Right.
So.
And if anybody doesn't know the background story with ISIS is a branch of Al Qaeda, and Al Qaeda stands for the data, which was created by our CIA to be used to get intel on people like Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, when we started to not really care about him anymore, even though we put him into power.
The thing with ISIS and why the U.S. government wants there to be ISIS, that's a reason for us to stay in the Middle East longer.
Yep.
That's all that is. And then the Iran bullshit, Syria bullshit, it's all a way for us to fucking be there for fucking ever.
Right. I call it a ghost war because we don't have a defined enemy. These guys, it's guerrilla warfare. So if we don't pull out as if we pulled out like in Vietnam, we'll just stay there because we never know when there's going to be a terrorist attack. We never know. We got to get to these guys before they get to us. And it's all a fucking sham.
No, it's funny too with the whole Muslim thing. Like, all these Muslims, they're extreme, they're crazy, they kill all these people. In the last 30 years, Christians or Catholics have killed more people than any other religion.
Right.
So, in the Middle East.
It's a joke.
Between Iraq and all those wars.
With all the bombing.
Yeah, all the bombing.
Attacks,
Right.
So, who's the crazy religious, freaks?
Who's the terrorist? Who's the
terrorist? Yeah, who's the terrorist?
You helped give, the United States and Britain helped give the Jews their own country over there, between the 1940s and 60s.
And we had to move all those people where the Jews are now.
So move and kill.
Yep. Yeah. When I say move, I mean just blow those people up. So now it's nice and vacant.
There was never a Palestine.
Yeah, Palestine. It's like the people who say the Holocaust was fake. There's no Palestine.
You know what's really fucked up too? Like, when they first started going to the Middle East. Well, I know we've been there for a while, but like the past 15 years, it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't gotten better whatsoever. The war on quote-unquote terror has gotten worse.
Yep.
So we're going to be there for fucking ever.
Well, and that's the whole thing. I mean, we've said it's a holy war over there.
Well, we're not talking about that.
No, but we're a part of that now.
Oh, you mean like
the U.S. government? I don't say we. The U.S.
Like,
government.
even if you back out now.
Yeah. Oh, it's worse.
Yeah. Even if you pull, I agree. Even if you pull everybody out,
obviously.
I do too. But yeah, you've got
now
ramifications
they
from it. Yeah. You'll be labeled it.
Yeah. If we pull out right now,
which you should.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. And we know that they will be worse off than how they were 15 years ago.
Well, you're saying
we know that, and that's what Brian was saying.
Yeah, and we're in it. They'll still, you'll still have a bunch.
There'll be more terrorists than ever. You can't go over there, kill people's women and children, and expect everything to be okay.
Yeah,
no,
you can't.
Yeah, there's generations.
That's why people join these radical groups, and you want to call them radical, whatever. They're just trying to defend themselves.
I know. That's what I mean by when Israelis think they want when Israelis think that they should be peaceful over there and not angry anymore, it's like, that only happened like 50 years ago, so you still have like that, if I'm a kid, if I'm at my age right now and I happen to be living over there, you probably killed one of my family members, my grandfather.
The people who were kids back then are now adults, and they're sitting here like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, and that's what you mean by that, right? Like, even if we pull out now because of what we've done, you're going to still have some of those extreme groups over there still hating us.
Right, the kids today.
Yeah.
The kids today that are getting, their shit bombed.
When we talked about, that's why I would love to see accountability, just to show, like, I understand.
That's why the whole though.
I'm sorry if that helps. Please don't.
That's why everyone around here, they're so brainwashed, and they're saying like, the troops are fighting for freedom, and it fucking pisses me off so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Where's the freedom?
I don't
Prove
get it.
Yeah. Can you show me the freedom that I've gained in the past 10 years?
The terrorists
5 years.
are the fucking people in D.C.
Yeah.
They're taking away your freedom. Some guy across the fucking world, he's not doing shit.
What do you got, 9/11?
Freedom.
Like, you want to debate 9/11 too?
That's what fucking pisses me off.
People
that are taking away your freedom are fucking right next door to you.
Yeah, but say the word troops, and you get a giant applause.
Oh, I know.
Bunch of seals. Bunch of seals, man. And it's like, but you're not... It's another talking point. The troops, talking point.
Yeah.
Troops are just another talking point.
And you get you'll see all these posts and everything, love the troops because they fight for your freedom. And don't get me wrong, for anybody to step up and who's going to fight for somebody's freedom is very honorable. But again, how did they...
They're not.
How did
they
do
fighting
that?
for my freedom? How are they fighting for anybody's freedom?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, if the troops, if a general or someone happens to turn around and be like, government is messed up, well, you're locking people up, and we're gonna help you guys put an end to it, then I'd be like, support the troops. He's fighting for my freedom.
I don't know about that.
Well, if they turn around and help us for our libertarian cause, for free market, remove government, I'd be like, oh wow, you are with the people.
Yeah, but that happens in a peaceful way.
Well, you would. I want it to. I definitely would. I'm just being. Clearly, that's not going to happen.
You're just renting.
That's how I would support. That's how.
It's just feelings.
Well, we're saying people are like them for supporting your freedom. I'm saying that would be supporting my freedom, and I would support them.
Right. But see, at that point, they wouldn't even need to point a gun at anybody. Because politicians don't point guns. So the second we were able, and it is happening. The second we get like military and not police, not so much. Or if it is, it's happening at a much slower pace. But the military is definitely opening up their eyes. And if the government doesn't have the military, then they don't have guns to point at people. Yeah. And therefore, it would literally, like dominoes, just be like, all right, well, we got nobody to fight our wars, nobody to continue to rob other nations of natural resources. We're getting off topic of the GOP debate.
Well, no, you've made a good point, though, Sean. Like, if you take the NYPD right now, the police department, and they're like, they all decide to put their guns down, and they looked at the politicians, the judges and everyone, and be like, why don't you go out there and point guns at these, at my fellow...
at like my family members.
People,
at my friends,
and you
my
extort
neighbors.
Money from them.
Right.
It
wouldn't work.
It wouldn't
work. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So slowly, we are seeing military... come on our side, and a lot of them are coming after, like, they serve like 2 tours. They're like, man, and that's why we have the whole like 23 now. It went up one body, so 23 veterans are killing themselves every day.
And you have veterans that are against government and war.
There's
and that's
more.
Part of this,
there's a lot.
There's more now than ever.
Like Vietnam vets and shit. A lot of them are,
and it's growing. So I mean, we are winning that quote unquote fight. You know what I mean? We are getting more people. But when they throw guys like Donald Trump in, It's excitement. It's entertainment. It's this celebrity. It's, oh man, maybe if I just vote one more time, maybe the world will change. Which we all know it won't. It's just the white Obama. That's what he is. He's the white Obama that the Republicans are going to be like, oh, maybe if we vote for him, things will change and we won't have these rhinos and
and when you say white Obama, you mean the next popular dude.
Right.
Yeah.
That girl, Julia Toransky, is that her name?
Toransky, yeah.
Yeah, she talks about the feedback loop. That's what it is. Like everything just keeps.
Right. It's just a big circle. It's perpetuating.
It's a big circle.
Yeah. Fucking circle jerk.
Well, and it's unfortunate because I know like a lot. Some people right now think Bernie Sanders is really going to make government work for us somehow, some way.
No, Bernie Sanders.
People always hold on to that illusion
Yeah.
on the next candidate. It's like no candidate.
None.
Let me tell you something. If you ever was to really get a candidate in there that wanted to turn around government and work for people, which they would be shot and killed.
Yeah,
you go against the grain.
You'd be JFK.
You'd be JFK.
These companies that pay both sides, no matter who gets into office, if you don't do what they say, they are not going to keep you around. They will remove you, and they'll bring in the next guy who's afraid of guns, and he'll be like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, and that's because that is what government is. Right. That's
force.
Is what it is. So
force,
you can't,
and it's coercion.
So that's what I mean by I say, even if you get a candidate, that can never happen. It just can't happen.
I'm kind of glad Ron Paul did not make it to presidency, because he would be killed.
He even said that was his goal wasn't to become president; it was to spread the message.
And he did a great job with that.
Yeah, he did.
He
helped me.
Good job. Yeah, he helped me.
So
he did a great job.
I was a fan of his. He was in a lot of my documentaries. I got into.
Yeah. So let's
this is a candidate.
This is pretty much it for the GOP debate. There's the same talking points that we hear every 4 years. They got a new face, Donald Trump. He's the only new face, really, because he's the celebrity.
Well, he ran last time. He did run last time.
Yeah, he dropped out.
He wasn't in the debates.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is. I don't know how many more straws these guys, the big money has, because if Donald Trump doesn't make it, or he does, and people realize again, for I don't know how many times, it's the same song and dance. How many more straws do these guys have before they're like, shit, we're out, and now the people are pissed? You know what I mean? I'm hoping that, like Brian said about Julie Terinsky, that it's not this perpetuating circle that just continues and continues and continues. If we're not that stupid, but
the system will be, I think.
I don't know, man. I really hope.
I hope people aren't like that.
But so let's talk about trophy hunting. So last podcast.
Retract your statement.
Yeah, I need to retract my statement that I am against trophy hunting, because I was under the assumption, so it shows how much of a hunter I am, under the assumption that trophy hunting means you're going to go anywhere, kill an animal for no reason other than just to put a head on your wall.
Stuffer.
Right. I'm not necessarily in favor of that form of hunting, but that is not trophy hunting. And Brian here will explain to me.
Well, no, trophy, that could be considered. Trophy hunting is pretty much you're hunting any animal that's mature and big for its species, right? That's
like a giant buck.
Like over here, I hunt whitetail, and if you're trying to hunt a giant buck, or people pay to hunt these giant whitetail, and that's a trophy whitetail.
Yeah, whoever has the biggest, maturest, that was the trophy animal of that species.
Yeah, it's a trophy whitetail. So, you go to Africa and you kill a lion, it's not something I would do, but that's trophy hunting. You're killing a mature lion.
Why wouldn't you?
And that's also, it's not something I personally want to do. But it's also not a bad thing. Like, let's say they don't eat the meat, which, all right, majority of the time in Africa, when you go hunt, you are donating the meat to the village. Majority of the time. So...
Actually, it's against the law not to. If you don't take the meat, you have to, by law, donate this meat to those villages.
Yeah. And all the money that you pay to kill these animals supports the species and actually helps the species thrive and the population come up.
Doesn't it also help the villages that are in there? Because a lot of these places are pretty poor. Yeah. Doesn't some of this money go to support the villages?
Supports the villages, the preservations.
Right.
And obviously goes in some people's pockets, but
Well, yeah,
part of the game, yeah.
That's the market. So I need
$50,000.
Huh?
Yeah.
He paid $50,000 for that.
Yeah. So I need to retract my statement about the whole trophy hunting thing. I was ill. All right, I was stupid. I'll say it. I'll come out. I was uninformed. Didn't really do research on that kind of stuff, and I was just like, well, trophy hunting. If this guy did this kind of shit, it's fucked up and it's wrong and blah blah blah.
I personally don't think what he did was fucked up.
Right, and I have to.
I don't think what he did was messed up. I mean, clearly that sounds like there was a mistake involved. Like there
was a mistake by him hitting a tagged animal.
Yeah, it was a tagged animal.
But that's not like how you can't see the collar. You don't know that the animal's tagged. You're not like.
But I wasn't there either, so I don't know the whole story.
But I mean, to be all honest,
care about
for this guy to go in there and be like, I want to shoot this lion because he's famous, and I'll pay you $55,000. It
wasn't even that famous. He was famous after he killed him.
Well, supposedly
those people in that country really didn't even know who that lion was.
No, but he did generate money for that particular.
What do you mean?
Whatever reservation he was on, or the park he was at, he did generate some sort of money for them. Yeah, that's what I.
Oh, and also another thing, people say like hunting's cruel, it's vicious, but in the wild, there's a couple ways animals die, and it's old age, which is slow, you suffer. You get killed by another animal, which is slow and you suffer. Disease, slow and suffer. Starve, slow and suffer. And when you hunt an animal, it could be instant kill, couple seconds, it dies majority of the time. So it's actually like a better way for an animal to die than to die in the wild. Like with its surroundings, you know what I'm saying?
Doesn't a lot of the times, because you aim obviously for the vitals. Doesn't a lot of the times this animal just starts like falling asleep and just passes out and then dies instead of like having like a broken leg. Like we don't aim. A hunter's not going to aim for the fucking leg and break the leg from.
I mean, I've killed a lot of animals and they die either instantly or within a couple seconds.
Hang on, let me get Peter on the phone real quick. Brian Malone.
But I eat them and whatever. But either way. It's actually not like.
Sometimes it's.
It's absolutely necessary, especially for like a deer population.
Yeah. And then sometimes it's necessary not to hunt certain species.
Well,
I just want to say that it's not cruel.
No,
it's not as cruel as people think.
Don't sit there and say it's not natural. Like to sit there and tell a human being. You can't go and provide food and hunt for food. That's how we were.
And if we didn't hunt, we wouldn't be around.
And as long as they're doing it, being smart about it, how we said, you're overpopulated with deer. Why not?
But the best is these people that, they go through the drive-through, they get their cheeseburger.
Hypocrites.
But then they'll say, hunting's bad. And I've met some people like that, and there's like, they don't understand like that they're eating this meat. And they're like, well, that's what it was bred for and whatever. But
that's
like
more cruel.
Killing your own animal is like makes it like
you appreciate it.
Yeah, you appreciate it. You know where that cheeseburger is coming from. If you killed that animal and made that cheeseburger, these people don't understand that. There's a huge disconnect with the wild and nature that people have.
Right. Which we had for long periods of time, where we were connected almost like one with nature, or living off the land. And technology may have spaced us out a little bit.
That's why I have a huge issue with anti-hunters. Hunting helps populations. It helps control populations, or it helps increase populations. Keeps them healthy.
Yeah.
So.
And when I said I'm against trophy hunting, I didn't mean it in like, how you describe.
Right, but we know that words.
Listen, we did what most people do, right? We had a miscommunication.
We jumped the gun
on a definition of a word, trophy hunting.
Right, but that's the problem.
Yeah,
is that this word thing we need to
sit there and say, but at the same time, we still stuck to our principles and didn't say, well, I'm forcing people by force. You're not allowed to. If you go out and trophy hunt, I'm going to lock you up and all this stuff. We didn't say we condone any of that.
What I'm retracting is the statement that I made about trophy hunting. Because using those words wasn't good, because that's not.
But I'm not, me personally, I wouldn't stuff animals. That's where I was getting at.
What are you gonna do with this? What are you gonna do with the hide? Throw it away?
No,
come on.
No, you can
make a blanket.
out of it.
Yeah, but
I personally have some animal stuffs, but You know.
But yeah, I would
stuff.
think even letting it deteriorate in the ground at least gives back more than letting it sit on my wall all preserved.
Also, another thing
that's
with
my
Cecil,
personal views.
Yeah.
I don't
another thing with
push that
Cecil
on
is like
nobody.
mature male lions go around and they kill cubs, and they'll kill like surrounding cubs. So like when you take out like a mature lion, you're actually helping out the cubs. You know, like lions kill their own. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm glad Cecil's dead. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what?
No, but I mean, how
like
many cubs did Cecil kill in his fucking life?
The
Probably
thing-
a lot.
Yeah.
A 13-year-old tiger?
Yeah,
Or a lion? Excuse
He's
me.
13.
I think it was 13.
The thing that PETA has to understand too is
That they're
like
stupid?
we've interfered between pollution, overhunting, all this stuff. We've just
Right.
interfered in Mother Nature and the way things are. That we
there's-
do have to scientifically monitor species now for overpopulations.
There is a huge-
extinctions,
there's a
and
huge-
try to maintain somewhat of a balance that we've messed up.
Yeah.
There's a
you
huge
have to
issue
do it by
with
hunting in
overhunting.
certain stances.
There's a huge issue with overhunting, especially in history with the bison. There's no eastern bison left.
Yeah.
There's no eastern elk left.
Yeah,
I mean, the
so
bison,
sometimes-
they were just killing these animals, leaving the carcasses and just taking the skins and selling them.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, this is just like the northern white rhino. There's 4 left right now, which there actually was only. I heard 1. Now that there's 4, I don't understand how there can only be 1, and then all of a sudden we have 4 coming out. But there are 4 currently right now, and it's like these guys, they're just taking the horns. They're just taking the horns off these rhinos. And same thing with like shark fin soup. You just take the fins.
There's a market for it.
No, I know, but that's hey, fuck you. These are the moral standpoints and the moral
I know, I'm only
principles
joking.
that all of humanity have to understand, which
Yeah.
we learn at such a young age.
And that's part of that's
You
you
know?
gotta learn principles, definitely, man. But at the same time, what you just said, like we have a issue in this area, right? With coyotes now, right? Making a big comeback now.
Yeah,
Talking about, we might have to, watch that population from that's growing. Could be harmful for kids, small animals.
There's been a lot of attacks in Jersey.
Yeah.
Coyotes.
So I mean, now you have to open up hunting.
I saw one today, and it's not scared of you. Usually they're very weary of people, and no, this thing was just out in broad daylight in someone's lawn staring at you. It's
And
like,
you tell me we shouldn't hunt deer? I mean, you have a good stat of like people getting in car accidents hitting deers in cars.
Well, what
It's, like,
happened?
so crazy.
Is it Rhode Island or Long Island? I'm not from the city, so either Rhode Island. I think it was Rhode Island. So
Well, Rhode Island's up further. Yeah, Long Island's part of this.
whatever, man. I don't know them.
You said, oh my god!
Shit,
Wow.
I'm as dumb. I should be on the GOP debate. But maybe it was Long Island. Then they stopped the hunting. So they stopped the hunting for deer, and what happened is these animals got diseased, and it was bad. Like they were just like malnourished. There was no more food.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did. They ended up reinstating it. Or I think they did. They might not have, but it's fucked up when we don't control these populations. My issue with PETA, and we got to go soon because we're almost pushing an hour. My issue with PETA is that PETA is like, well, don't shoot that coyote, shoot yourself.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that-
whoa.
You know, like I don't agree with
That's cruel.
I don't agree with animal abuse, like or
Right, no, like beating up dogs, dog
yeah, like I
fighting.
don't want people to think like I agree with that. So
No. So
well, in
all
the
right.
hunting world, like if you know of a irresponsible hunter or a sloppy hunter, or someone sit there and say, I shot the deer in the leg and it, traveled for miles and I didn't care, I didn't hunt it. That's frowned upon.
Yeah, it's frowned
like
upon
people
by
are
the
like,
hunter.
you're out of your mind. You can't.
Honestly, it does.
That's so
A
irresponsible.
bad shot does happen.
It
once
does
in a while.
happen. Yeah.
It's human error, right?
But if somebody's a knucklehead
yeah.
out there on a consistent
Dude,
basis,
I know
that's
someone
frowned
that
upon.
shot a deer and fucking left it because they didn't want to drag it out. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna fucking kill you right now, dude.
Right, it's
Yeah,
fucking
I mean, it's
make
like,
me
yeah.
sick.
there's
Nobody
really
laughs. Nobody
And
who
that's what
hunts
makes, but that's
laughs
what
at
makes
that.
hunters look bad.
Yes, exactly.
and because PETA has such like a large following and a large base to be able to put shit out there, they'll go and they'll look for people who like the few bad hunters that do fucked up shit, and they'll make sure that stuff gets out to paint every hunter as this, and it's not necessarily true. Listen, we got to pack it up. I need to say this, and I've said it before. I retract my statement that I made about trophy hunting. I was ill-informed. Simple as that. Brian is here. He's much more knowledge on the hunting, not as much on fishing, but that's
Yeah, all right.
Anyway,
that's my lead.
Oh, fuck you. Anyway, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. If you want to toss up some topics or have any comments, you can find us at The Fight for Freedom Today at gmail.com. Also on Skype, The Fight for Freedom Today. I'm still working on Skype, trying to get that to work consistently. We're on Twitter at The FF Freedom. Facebook, you can join the Facebook group if you'd like. And other than that, Ed's got something to say.
I guess next podcast you got to talk about your plan.
Oh man, we didn't talk about the plan. So
you just let them know that.
So the website is being updated, and we're going to discuss about this plan, which is less of a plan and more of a mission statement that we're going to be putting out there. But our next podcast, we will be discussing that first thing. You guys have a great night and enjoy the weekend. Take care.